glittering fairyland full of wonderful surprises or an absolute nightmare. Whichever it is to you, shopping has changed over the years. We drive to glamorous pedestrian centres, and there we find everything we require. But surely nothing could be more convenient than shopping from home. There's been a terrific growth in mail order over the last decade. But where do we go from here? Shop TV, an electronic home shopping service, uses Prestel. No need for paperwork, no need to use a catalogue, although there is one available, and the customer makes the order via the television. Angela Sutherland wants to buy a camera. If she doesn't know which one she wants, she can call up a list of all the cameras available. When she's made her choice, she keys in her credit card number and confirms the order. Once an order has been placed, it's immediately processed by the host computer at Littlewoods. A picking ticket is produced at the distribution centre, which carries her name, address, and the reference number of the camera. In the centre, which covers a 12-acre site, there are 29 linear miles of shelving. In an age in which time is at a premium for many people, this type of shopping offers a convenient, efficient and economic alternative. $40 million items are dispatched from the centre each year.
Okay. Thanks very much. Bye.
Just 1 week after placing her order, Angela receives her camera. So much for the modern shopper. What does the retail revolution have in store for the shopkeeper? Pat harms of fads.
When we decided that our old methods of just having electronic cash registers, what people refer to as tills, was not a very efficient way of conducting our business, we chose the point-of-sale system that we have here today, which controls the whole of our business.
Morning, love. Somebody's going to be busy around here?
Yeah.
Keep them busy. Oh, that's right.
There you go. The barcode itself is a unique reference for each product. That enables us to know exactly what's being sold. We will be able to therefore use this for reordering, control of our stock, making sure that the products that are selling well are in stock for the customer when they want to buy them. The assistant will key in her own number at the beginning of the day, and therefore is what is known as logged on. Thereafter, every time an assistant makes a sale, she starts the sale by telling the point-of-sale system who she is, and then by using the handheld laser scanner, reads the barcode, which records the sale by looking up the price within the till, which in fact is a computer, and recording that price and of that product and any other products they may buy, totalling it, calculating change, doing all the normal sorts of things in terms of money, which might be cash, it might be credit card, it might be a voucher or anything like that. Before the introduction of the point-of-sale system, when we had a promotion on, for instance, and we reduced the price, and of course at the end of that promotion when the price returns to its normal value. We had to go around all the products and individually re-ticket them. Now, by using the barcode on the product itself, we can actually download the price changes into the till from the host computer each night. The benefits to managing the business from the point-of-sale system in general and by being able to record individual product lines is that the buyers and the others, people involved in the marketing functions and so on back at our head office, are enabled to know pretty well instantly what is selling and, just as importantly, what is not selling. In 5 years' time, I think we can look forward to what is known as the paperless society, whereby retailers will communicate their orders electronically with manufacturers. And in fact, this has already started. The orders all go into one pool and then each individual manufacturer takes out those elements which are his own order. You will then do away with all the paperwork. The order will be accepted electronically. It will be paid for electronically. It'll speed things up to enable us to pass those benefits on to the customer.
Alan Wolfe is a director of the advertising agency Ogilvy and Mather, and he specialises in the effect of new technology on marketing. Alan, we've just heard from a large retailer how he's enjoyed the benefits of barcoding. How do you think the retail industry as a whole will be affected?
I think British retailers are going to take this up in a big way. Not just do-it-yourself, as we've just seen, but the big grocery supermarkets. Even pubs will be able to get the benefits.
How will pubs be able to get the benefit?
Well, I've seen an all-electronic pub in operation. The computer system will, in fact, remember what you ordered last time, so you can say, same again all round, landlord, and get the same mix of drinks and pay the same price for it twice running. The computer will even teach the barman how to mix a tequila sunrise.
Will it just be the large stores that benefit, or will the corner shop benefit as well?
Well, obviously, the big multiples who dominate retailing in Britain want to take this up. Some of the big multiples have already started to convert their stores. But yes, small shops can benefit as well. In fact, if you go to Japan or to France, where there are already more electronic stores than there are in Britain, most of those are small rather than big stores.
So how will the consumer benefit from all this?
Well, in a number of ways, that both in the United States and in Britain, it's been shown that once they get used to the system, shoppers like electronic stores, because you get through the checkout much faster. And if the store makes a mistake, you can see on your till roll at once that they've made a mistake and you can complain rather than find out when you get home. And an electronic store knows a great deal about what it sells and what it doesn't sell. And so you're much less likely to find when you get to the shop that your favourite flavour or that your size is no longer in stock. And so the store will give you what you want.
Well, if barcoding, it's obviously going to be with us in the years to come. It's with us now, in fact. How will shopping change? Will it change?
I think shopping already is changing a great deal nowadays because more women go out to work. They can't go down to the shops every day. They have to do a big shopping trip. Certainly, we are therefore ordering more things at a time. And we need something like an electronic checkout to help us to get through 2 trolleys full of shopping on a Friday night as fast as possible.
So what about shopping in the city centre? Because they're not necessities there, are they? They're probably luxury goods we have.
Yes, I think that's true. The shopping centres for everyday goods, the groceries and the children's things and toys, will probably move to the edge of town, where because more and more of us have cars, we can go and do a big shop once a week. That leaves the city centre free to stock all the new luxury goods that we need, travel and durables like hi-fis and video recorders and all that kind of thing. I think we should go to the city centre for that as really leisure activity, as a pleasure in its own right. And the big Friday shopping expedition, which is no longer a pleasure for most of us, it's a chore, will probably go to a big electronic store which will do it as efficiently, cheaply and quickly as possible.
Our shopping habits have changed dramatically, with the big supermarkets providing most of our food and essential supplies. But a visit to these shops has lost the personal touch and does not provide the social function of the corner shop. The future could bring some welcome changes. As the big shopping centres develop, they can bring back some of the human qualities into our lives. Cafes where we can chat and rest our feet, and supervised play areas for the children. So where we shop and the things we buy may change, but will the way we pay for our goods remain the same? At the moment, we can pay by cheque, but writing cheques takes time. There's a £50 limit, and cheques need a lot of administration in clearing.
£4.99, please.
Of course, there's always cash, but we don't like to carry around a lot of cash. Security is a major problem. It's also very expensive to produce, count and clear. There's credit cards, but they also create problems.
It's a lengthy procedure, having to run the cards through, fill in the voucher, tear all the bits of carbon out and hand it to the customer. Obviously, it does take a while, and if you've got a queue of people, obviously they're going to have to wait longer.
There is a new way, EFTPOS, the electronic fund transfer at point of sale. There are several systems on trial. General Manager of the Anglia Building Society, Alan Brown, describes their version of EFTPOS.
This is going to be the payment system of the future. It's as yet, of course, in its infancy, but undoubtedly it's going to be such a convenient form of payment for the ordinary shopper that it will become accepted eventually. And convenience is the keynote to the whole thing. Instead of having to carry large amounts of money around or carry a checkbook and a check guarantee card or what have you, you'll be able to carry the usual little plastic card around with you, present that to the shopkeeper when you go to buy your goods or pay for your goods or services provided, and he will insert it into a little machine on his counter, and that in turn will cause the amount of the payment to be transferred out of your account immediately into the account of the retailer concerned. The card is operated by what is termed a PIN number. That's a personal identification number. That presents some people, regrettably, with a problem, especially if you have more than one card with more than one PIN number. What we've done we've foreseen that problem of remembering odd numbers. We've said to people, well, we'll give you a number to start you off. If you want to then, take your card to one of our cash machines through the wall, and you'll find there you can change that number to whatever you want, as long as it's a 4-digit number. And so people are able to go along and choose what number they would like to use, which might have some sort of personal significance to them, which will help them to remember it. And if at any time in the future they feel that number's been compromised or somebody's got to know about it, they can go along to the machine and again they can change it to whatever they like, as many times they like. These cards operate on interest-bearing accounts. Now, those accounts in our books earn interest day by day. Clearly, when you take money out of an account, whether you go to the branch and draw cash or whether you use one of our cards in the system, from that point in time, interest stops to be earned on that amount you withdrawn. People decide, say, on a Saturday to go and make a large purchase, a suit or even pay for a holiday or rail ticket or something. They'll come in the office or go to a cash machine, draw maybe £100, £200 in cash, stick it in a pocket and walk around, look for the suit or whatever they're going to buy. If they don't find it, well, they've drawn the money out. They're losing interest on that. With this card system, you can still wander around, make your choice, either not make it or make it, and you only start to lose interest on that money once the actual purchase transaction is recorded and the money is taken out of your account, of course. Like it or not, this is going to be the payment for the future, and I'm sure we'll all be using this payment method very frequently in 5 or 10 years' time. We decided that because we're in the financial services field and we're aiming at personal accounting, we've got to provide this service sometime. We have the technology, we've got the expertise, and certainly in the town of Northampton, where the project is now underway, we have, of course, a lot of contacts. And in fact, in this town, 2 out of 3 people who live here are on our books anyway as account holders. We've got altogether 110 shops linked into this system now, and they have almost 200 terminals between them. Some are big departmental stores with a number of terminals, of course, inside. But they include such things as not only the big multiple shops, the national shops, but small shops which deal with things like porcelain, china, travel agents, that type of thing.
Very nice.
The retailer is going to benefit, and obviously he's experimenting it too, because it is a new technique. He's got no problem then, if he uses this payment method, of having to handle cash. And believe it or not, cash is a problem. It's got to be counted, safeguarded, taken to the bank, pay bank charge when you pay it in. So it relieves him of that, or it will do eventually when it becomes a common method of payment. It also, of course, avoids the use of cheques, which are time-consuming at the point of sale. You can wait a long time for people to write out cheques. What the country needs is a unified system. You see, the shopkeeper doesn't want a lot of different machines on his point of sale. He wants one machine that will take anybody's plastic card, and that's what we're aiming to do. The problem then is, if you think of a national system for the whole of the UK, is one of money, because you're talking about hundreds of millions of pounds to install such a system. The problem is who's going to do it. The banks have difficulty, I think it's true to say, in agreeing on common standards and common procedures, and they're not finding it very easy to make progress on that basis. But behind it all is the problem of who's going to pay.
There are other systems of EFTPOS. We can use credit cards to make phone calls. How many times have we queued behind people signing cheques at the ticket office in railway stations? Queues don't seem to exist at the new do-it-yourself style ticket office. What could be quicker than that? Professor Tom Stonier is the Professor of Science and Society at Bradford University, and he studies the interaction between science, technology and society. Tom, there's no doubt that the retail revolution is already with us. Do we want it?
Partly we have no choice, but I think, yes, it'll improve the quality of life for the average shopper, the busy mum, the person who works all day. For most people, it'll be an improvement. The big problem is associated with all of this automation is the universal problem for Western societies in the 1980s, which is those companies which fail to automate are going to go out of business. Those that do won't provide as many jobs, so more unemployment.
So what do we do about that?
Well, we have to understand we have been moving into a post-industrial, not a de-industrial, but a post-industrial society. We have to develop the skills for information, and we need to recognize a whole new labor force. The jobs of the future will be people-to-people jobs. The jobs of the future will be high-level information jobs. And we need, in my view, to massively expand the education system, which would do two things at the same time. Help solve the problem of the skills, at the same time lower unemployment. If we doubled the education budget, we could cut unemployment almost in half. And at the same time get our money back, because we save on the unemployment. And if we provide, as I think in my view we should, one computer per child, not per classroom, one computer system per child, will generate such industrial activity and service activity that the government gets all of its money back. So in one fell swoop, I feel one way to go is to upgrade the UK labour force.
So we should welcome this new technology?
We should welcome them, but we must make a response, because otherwise we're piling up millions of young people with no economic stake in the society. And if we don't improve education, the lesson all around the world is an educated workforce learns to exploit new technology, and an ignorant one becomes its victim.
What do you mean by better education?
Well, first of all, it's going to have to be a cradle-to-grave system, because in a rapidly changing technological environment, there's no way of giving kids an education and say, okay, you're ready for the 21st century. They're going to live to be 100 years with the new medical technology that's coming up. Secondly, it must be education, not merely training. People must understand the world they live in, and they must understand themselves. That's a key, which means I would include history and anthropology and so forth. I would also by having each child have its own computer system at home. When I say cradle, I mean cradle. You begin with a computer throwing light patterns on the ceiling, for example. You stimulate the child in an information-rich environment. They will learn to read and write as fast as they learn to talk, and all normal, we'll have to exclude brain-damaged children, but all normal children will understand calculus by the time they're 12. So we're going to create a whole new system, and the education system itself is going to have to run very fast to keep up with the new technology as it's emerging.
Do you think it's going to lead to individualism, i.e. it's just going to be the child with a computer in his bedroom? He's not going to be talking to his friends, he's not going to be playing out in the street?
Oh, no. The computer is an addition, and the computer is the most powerful learning tool since the invention of grandmothers. I like to think that the new education system, incidentally, has room for grandmothers. One of the great underutilized resources in Western society are its old people. There's a natural affinity between the old and the young. So I'd like a whole new group of teachers who have 15 hours a week with only one child. Now, children still have to play with other children. So in school, they may only go for half a day, only 3 days a week. But in school, they play with other children, they do group activities, field trips, put on plays. Basically what's going to happen is home is a place you go to study, school is a place you go to play, and we'll all be better for it.
But what about the middle-aged people who are currently being made redundant or unemployed? Can they get help with this new technology?
One of the very interesting experiments that's being set up is Open University is going to try over the next few years to provide computers to all its pupils. And the computer, with good software, is an incredible learning tool. As I said, it's the greatest invention since grandmothers. Everybody's capable of computer education. You don't have to turn out programmers anymore. That's not where it's at. But there are many people who are so turned off on the education system, and I think particularly some of the older workforce, I would expand housing, sewage, I'd build a big channel tunnel, I'd build a 7 barrage. In other words, to create the physical infrastructure for a healthy economy.
Thank you very much, Tom. Because computers allow us to do many more things and do them faster, there is a temptation to leave some decisions to the last minute. How has the travel trade been affected by this? Ian Shampness of Holiday Facts.
The travel trade has experienced a later and later booking trend in the last few years. The pressures on both the travel agents and the tour operators are severely increased because the travel agent's got a shorter time in which to find a holiday for somebody, and a member of the public's probably coming into his agency and expecting him to find something instantly. So there is less time for him to do so, and he's got to look round more and more places.
Good afternoon, Holiday Facts. How can I help you?
We needed one place where people, travel agents and the public could look for last-minute holidays in one place.
Right, at this precise moment I can offer you seats from Gatwick.
By trying to put, as an electronic clearinghouse, all the seats into one place, we are trying to create that situation that on a view data booking or by coming into our system, they could see at a glance seats that are left, they can then book.
Thank you very much for your inquiry. Good afternoon.
Before I book my last-minute holiday, I leave you with this thought. There is always an amazing new development in technology just around the corner. Let someone else try it first. Goodbye.